I just want to get this energy out because it's kind of very important to me that I get everything out that I wanna that the divine is kind of guiding me to get out. But I noticed there was a first I want to say thank you, ancestors, angels, guys, and all positive forces that look over me. Archangel Michael come in and protect me as I give this message to the collective. I haven't really figured out what I'm gonna call it yet, but we'll get there. Usually I don't focus on the moon in particular. Usually I don't like in one setting. You know how everybody is like, oh, the full moon this and the full moon that and the full moon that. I don't really, I don't get in that energy because it just seems like there's just so much there. So many people want in on that. You know, so many people want in on the moon blessing them. Like they really want that. They want in on that. And it's just I see the moon like kind of how they're doing Jesus in his story. Okay. I see the moon like that. Like overusing, over abusing, one upping and manipulating. So a lot of is included in that. But that does not take away from the whole aspect of the moon being a part of this constellation situation, this planetary alignment situation. So if you guys know, the moon is the fourth house, okay? So the moon house is the house of home and family, and the moon's child is Cancer, okay? So the moon is big. It's bigger than it appears. And it's almost like we only see the little fears that is helping us conquer like our emotional state, but the moon is so much bigger than that. It is the house of home and family, period. So every time the moon is brought up, the house of home and family, that's just how I see it. Okay, with the daughter of Cancer. Okay, period, in the fourth house. Okay, now the moon was just in Capricorn. Okay, it was in Saturn's house. So it's almost like Saturn it's almost like the Saturn moved right next to the moon. That's kind of like how I like to have an analogy for things. Saturn packed up his bags right now. A lot of us could be moving into new homes right now, but Saturn moved right next to Cancer, to the moon. Okay, Saturn's child is Capricorn. Saturn is the house of career. Okay, so it's almost like under this full moon, the moon and Saturn were holding hands. It's almost like the house of family and of home and family was holding hands with the house of the career. I don't know. Do y'all get that? Because like when I said that, I was like, oh, I get it. Let me say it again. The house of home and family under the full moon was holding hands with the house of career. So early was seeing the message that the moon had, and the only message that it was giving upon the holding hands. Do you have a legacy? Do you have a legacy? What career is keeping your home and family together? How are you doing that? The moon is more than just emotions. The moon is home, property, family, inner childhood wounds, old age, ancestors, roots. I mean, I can go on and on. I can go on and on and on about your words. Ooh, home, family, origins, later life. So if the later life is in the afterlife is attached to the moon, and the legacy is the later life, which was where the moon was in Capricorn, the house of career in Saturn. Are you there yet? That's really what the answer just said. Are you there yet? Because if you're not aligning to your legacy, this home is going to stay upside down. So right now you can notice that you're doing a lot of moving. You're doing two things. You're doing one of two things. You're doing a lot of moving, okay, or you're not doing enough of moving. It don't seem like things can align in the home. The home is important. That's why the moon phases matter. Honestly, we're so focused on trying to manifest, and take from the moon, but we ain't giving shit back to her. And the way that you give back is respect. So how is your home and family doing? Because the moon's child is Cancer, and in the moon's house, we focus on home and family. How the fuck is that shit doing for real? Is your ancestors up in that motherfucker? Are you healing your inner wounds? The moon needs to know, because the home depends on that. How you are on the inside shows on the outside. So you can have a nice front porch with a lantern outside. But if I walk inside and I don't feel this home right here, something is wrong. Something is wrong. The moon wants us to stop going through these phases without addressing these home and family. The moon is the home and family. Where are you going without that? How do you keep inner wounds, ancestors? Inner wounds and ancestors. The moon helps you do that. That's how you hold the home and family together. So before we can even get to what the fuck the damn Capricorn had to give you, the legacy that the house of career had to give you, did you fix that first? Because no matter what sign the moon goes into, you better address those matters, or you're not going to get the blessings that each sign it goes into. So right now, like I said, if you have not been creating a legacy, if you do not have a public image, if you do not have been working on your reputation, your career, Capricorn not working for you up under the moon phase. It did not up under this full moon. The house of career held hands with the house of family and home. You are what you put out in this energy. You are what you attract. If you have not been creating nothing, that you got to see how to use the energy. That's why I say understanding everything is important, not just one. You got to understand, because the universe works together, Bookie Bear. We're the only ones that ain't. They work together. It's going to transition. The alignments are going to transition in order no matter what the fuck NASA is talking about, bitch. It's still finna be a planetary alignment. Mars gonna shift, Neptune gonna shift, the moon gonna shift without anybody touching that motherfucker. Okay? So you need to be looking at that. We really need to be looking at what we're manifesting up under the moon and how we are using the moon, because a lot of us are not using it properly because we don't understand what the moon is. Let me reiterate. The moon is the house of home and family. Period. Inner wounds, ancestors, family, home, property. House of career just moved next door. Literally. And when the house of career got there, it was almost like, shit, what you got? Have you came up with something from your ancestors, from your lineage, from your wounds? Have you came up with something to save your family, to save your home? Have you came up with something? Do you have something? Do you have a legacy here? Because if not, moving on. Going straight to Aquarius, moving on. The moon really ain't wasting time for real. It's really shifting through every sign just to see. And all we see is all we seen up under this full moon was the fact that they was in Capricorn. Nobody paid attention to the fact that it was that the house of career is Capricorn, and it just moved next door to the actual house of home and family. That's some big shit. It's almost like, so if you're not moving right now, that's why. The moon not moving you. Your home and family is not able to move forward because when the moon got next door to your house and your career, you didn't have nothing. You don't have a legacy. You're not have a reputation. You're not ambitious about nothing. Okay? It checked you out even deeper into the aspect, and it was like, shit, your limitations, you still limiting yourself. You still have restrictions. You still in Saturn. Where sorrow, Saturn. Literally, because that's where we're at. Saturn is the parents of Capricorn, and it's the house of career. So it checked, and it was like you're still limiting yourself. That's literally what this full moon could have showed you. You are still limiting yourself. You're still limiting yourself. So with that being said, now is the time to work on that. As it shifts into this Aquarius energy, it's going to give you some time to reevaluate these groups that you in. The moon is the house of home and family. So every time that moon moves, so let's say the moon moves into Leo, okay? The house of love just moved next door to the house of home and family. Let's say the moon is in Gemini, that the house of communication just moved next door to the house of home and family. Please don't get nothing misconstrued about what the moon does. It is more than your emotions. It is the house of home and family. Inside of that house is family, inner wounds, inner childhood wounds, must I say, ancestors, lineage, father figures. You got work to do in the moon. No play. So every time it transitions somewhere, it's for you to check and see, is everything okay? So now that they got in this Capricorn, which is limitations, restrictions, and sorrow, are you still limiting yourself? Are you still limiting who you are? Is that keeping you back from being who you feel like you're supposed to be? Are you still at a job where you're not supposed to be at? Are you still working for someone else when you 100% know that you are supposed to be working for yourself? What are you doing? What are you really doing? That's what the universe is calling to see. What legacy are you creating? So this moon just gave you that energy to check it out. Look, do you have something in place to save your home and your family? Are you connected to your ancestors? Are you connected to your roots? Are you using that to push your legacy? Are you using that to understand that you are not limited? You don't have to live in limitation. You don't have to live like that. You don't have to live in sorrow. You don't have to. Are you using this energy properly? That's really all is going on right now. Using the energy properly, but you got to understand it to be able to do that. That takes a study, okay? That takes a study. So studying things right now is very important. Studying the knowledge that you need to have around everything. Don't just get one basic understanding of the moon. Have a broad picture. What is the moon? The moon is a planet. It is inside of this constellation. So that means it is a house. It's ruling and everything. You got to get the knowledge to understand what the moon is doing for you in your life every time it goes through a sign. And it just went through the house of career. Okay, so the home and family wants to check out to see, do you have what it takes to have the legacy? Have you been doing that? Again, have you been releasing your limitations and the sorrow and restrictions? Because Saturn is the parent of Capricorn in the house of career, which is where the moon was just at, I didn't even know y'all were on here like that. But yeah. So. So I just really want to give that message, okay, accordingly. I feel like that message is important, to be in the making. Wow. Well, what are y'all doing on my page? Find something else to do. I think people do that so everybody can interrupt and stop talking about what they're talking about so they can focus. I really like, damn, people want people to focus on them so bad. It's crazy. Yeah. Ancestor said completion. There's your flip. There's your flip. I'm not flipping on this video, matter of fact. This wasn't a flip video. This is a guidance video. So I'm not doing a reading on this video. But thank you. All of that you need to know will be in the description for this video, for information that you need to know about me, where you can find me. It would be in the description. Okay. I said I'm going to come back and do, today is, what the fuck is today? Today is Wednesday. So today is Mercury Day. I'm going to come back and do a post about Mercury Day, but I just wanted to talk about the moon in this message in particular. So I wasn't doing a message. Okay. So just catch me on the next one.